Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. So right here I have a solder plate carrier system, and I haven't seen anyone on YouTube actually review this thing, so I figured I'd give my thoughts on the carrier itself as well as go over how I have it set up for my 2010 10th Mountain Division impression and how I got past some of the limiting features of the carrier with a little bit of creativity. Now the story of the SPCS, which is also designated as the KDH Magnum Tac-1, is pretty interesting. I'll link an article by Soldier Systems down below to if you want to learn more. But basically, in 2009, the Army was looking at fielding a plate carrier to certain units in Afghanistan, dependent on METTC, of course, and eventually KDH's carrier was chosen. Starting in January of 2010, I believe, it began fielding to the 10th Mountain Division and the 101st Airborne, although there could be some others. I remember that reading a while ago, but I don't have the link to prove it. Now the SPCS was not meant to replace the IOTV, as I sort of mentioned, and that decision was supposed to be up to the unit commanders. Now, I know the IOTV gets a lot of hate, but there are legitimate reasons that you would want to use it over a plate carrier, like if you're under the threat of IEDs or indirect fire or any sort of explosive shrapnel threat. The extra 4 pounds in the IOTV might be worth it depending on exactly your unit's mission or that kind of stuff. Enough of the history lesson though, let's get into my personal setup. As I mentioned, this is for my 10th Mountain Division platoon / squad leader impression, which is for airsoft, but it's also my go-to armor setup in case anything were to happen, you know, like SHTF or whatever. I won't really get into the reasons as to why you might want your own personal body armor, so I'll just leave it at that. Alright, so first of all, I'm running both front and back ESAPI plates, as well as the ESBI enhanced side ballistic inserts, with level 3 inserts behind them. These are not the original inserts, and neither are the ones for the front plates or the back plates. Now the carrier I have is actually an extra small, and I have small plates, which is sort of a problem because there's no way in hell that I'm actually fitting the plates inside this plate pocket here. So I can't really secure the plates as well as I should be able to, but they do still fit in just the general cavity inside the plate bag, so it's not too bad. Now the carrier actually does have loops, just like the IOTV, to attach groin protectors and lower back protectors. However, they're not very practical, at least for the groin protector, because since it sits so high up on your torso, the bottom of the groin pad does not actually reach all of your private parts, so not great. So now I'll get on to my pouch setup. First of all, I have these X KAG-1 gloves in foliage green attached to a carabiner. I'll just get those out of the way first. I have 3 Eagle Industries double M4 mag pouches and an Eagle Industries lightweight MBITR pouch, which houses a fake plastic Prick 148 for my impression. On the side molly of the radio pouch, I have just a standard issue Flashbang pouch, which is where I house my actual radio, which is a Balfoam UV5R. For my push-to-talk, I have a Thales push-to-talk, which is wired to Kenwood in order to actually work with the UV5R. And for my antenna, I'm running an extension cable to a 42-inch foldable whip antenna. The actual MBITR, I think, uses like a 48-inch antenna, but honestly there are some details that I just can't really get completely correct because of like money issues. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a real MBITR, if I can even get one. So yeah, I have my push-to-talk set up in a way so that if I'm wearing a ruck, I can easily move it down to another molly row. Usually I put it on this one, and that way the shoulder straps and the sternum strap don't get in the way of the push-to-talk. Now in my canteen pouch, I house a 2.5mm to 3.5mm aux cord so that I can plug it into the Thales push-to-talk right here, and I will route the excess wire through here, or secure the excess wire through here, and then route it through the strap here and connect it to my MSA sword ends. Sword ends were not very common, obviously, in 2010, but the Supreme Pro X model did exist back then, and I figure if you're a squad leader, platoon leader, that might be something that you consider just to make your life a little better. Now, on the right side of my front plate bag, I have a Suunto M-9 wrist compass and a Petzl light that is wrapped around the front plate bag. Definitely inspired from that one Grand Thumb plate carrier video. Another little detail I added is adding this foliage green paracord to the ripcord so that it's just easier to grab and I have more leverage to pull it down, because for whatever reason the SPCS quick release tab is very stiff and hard to actually pull all the way out. Moving on to the right plate area, I have a standard issue canteen pouch where I house a very crappy Gen 1 pair of nods, and I have it lanyarded to a carabiner which I attach through this webbing on the canteen pouch. I also have two Eagle Industries frag grenade pouches behind the canteen pouch. On the left side, I have, of course, an IFAK on the rear, and then a Bay Systems smoke grenade pouch. It's an interesting pouch. I've never really seen them in the wild, but it's for smoke grenades, and it has this interesting paracord loop and sort of plastic tab to secure it. Now, on the rear, I don't have any molly pouches, and that is so I can wear a hydration bladder or an assault pack or ruck over it. So as you can see here on the back, I have the whip, and it is literally just Velcroed to this D-ring for the vertical like adjustment sort of strap thing for the side plate bags. And then I have it like jerry-rigged to this molly loop here for a little bit of, peace of mind. So one of the downsides of the SPCS is that it actually only has 3 molly loops. This can make it a little bit hard to attach all the pouches you would need for like just a standard sort of infantry setup, but I kind of got around that by also jerry-rigging it a little bit by looping the pouch straps just sort of through the excess webbing that connects to the buckle, as well as looping the magazine pouch on this side and the radio pouch on the other side over the buckle, just so that it doesn't flop around too much. Overall, I really do like the SPCS. It's a very comfortable plate carrier. Apart from a little bit, there's some, the side plates rub my hips just a little bit, but after I put in some foam behind the soft armor next to my body, it wasn't really such a big deal, and I don't notice it that much, to be honest. For comparison, I've worn a Gen 1 IOTV, USMC plate carrier, Land Ross, and some of my friends' stuff. But the SPCS is probably my favorite, honestly. I do like it a lot. It's not the most versatile, but it can do a lot of things that you want it to do if you just sort of think out of the box a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and maybe even learned something. If you're curious about seeing the rest of my 10th mount impression, I will eventually get a video up on that later. So thanks for watching and have a great day. See ya.